Hi guys, it's Maya and Elio here today. And today I'm gonna show you how I grew my hair so long and lusciously. You're gonna get all my secrets, every tip and trick that I've trialed and errored in order to have a luscious flowing mane despite whatever life throws your way. So I often get asked, obviously by trolls, if I'm wearing a wig, but no, this is my real hair. And I did give myself a bit of a trim recently, so it's a little shorter than it would normally be. But overall, I feel like I've developed a lot of tips and tricks in order to maintain healthy hair and to get it to grow as long and as quick as possible. And I think it's about time that I share those with you today. I have everything that I'm talking about linked in my description box down below. Nothing is sponsored. I have a little Amazon shop, but other than that, you can buy these things wherever you want to buy them. You don't have to let me have commission. It does not matter to me, but I have a lot of tips and tricks. I'm going to tell you guys about my hair history, about, why my hair might look a little bit drier or frizzier than usual, and just stuff like that, and what my goals were with hair growth, considering that I am a transsexual woman and it's part of my femininity journey, and it's that way for many women. It's not just a trans thing. So these are tips and tricks that will help you go from being a, barely there Beatrice to a long and luxurious Lucy. I don't know. So let's jump right in. So I have had different hair over the years. I would say my healthiest hair was actually when I was recovering from my gender reassignment surgery. I wasn't going out anywhere. I wasn't styling it. I wasn't dyeing it. I was letting it just grow out. And I was eating so much protein to try to help with my surgical recovery. And so that helped with my hair as well. So a big component in today's video is diet and supplements that you can take in order to help your body produce more, I guess keratin, that's what's in your hair, and protein and stuff like that. So right off the top, I know what a lot of you guys are going to do, roll your eyes. Biotin. Biotin is so helpful. I take it I would say one every 3 days, and this is a 2,500 microgram. I'm not someone who's going to take shit every single day. That's just not me. And I also don't think you should need to. I just feel like it would be an OD of biotin. I would start growing, a jungly bush around my areolas if I started taking these every day. That's not to say that they're some magical hair growth potion formula, but they definitely add to the experience. Every so often, I will have an enhanced collagen organica, either smoothie or put this into a dessert or something. You can mix it into certain recipes like overnight oats, stuff like that. Whatever you feel comfortable taking this with, but I'm just doing collagen because that's also, stuff that makes up your hair, your nails, all that kind of stuff. So it's good to have this at least a couple times a week. You don't have to have it every day. Again, I don't have it that often. Even if you're just having this once a week, it'll make a difference. And it's just 2 tablespoons. I try to take cod liver oil fairly often. Again, kind of like the biotin, once every 2 to 3 days. And this has vitamin D and vitamin A in it. Vitamin D is great for the winter weather when you're not getting as much sun. But I'm also eating protein bars. I'm doing a lot of jogging lately, and that exhausts a lot of my protein as well. So just be aware of how your diet is shaping your overall health. Because if you're not eating a lot of protein and you're not, eating healthy and getting your vitamins are important for your hair, then you're going to end up having dull, dry, flat hair. It's going to be frizzy and thin and not so voluminous and luxurious. Now, I know I mentioned a little bit earlier that I have started trimming my own hair. I just recently started that. I got these scissors from Amazon and they are so good. They're linked in my description box. They are thinning shears and just regular hair cutting scissors, which are great for being sharp and precise. So I basically started giving myself trims just this past, I want to say 2 weeks, because I realized, my ends were getting very split and frayed. And when your ends are getting frayed, then they're more likely to have breakage and your hair is not going to grow. You're going to get your roots to grow, but the ends are just going to split, and then the shaft splits up, and then you end up with just frizzy hair, which isn't cute. So I started trimming my own hair when you're just doing a trim, all you have to do is make sure it's even, you know, it's not crazy. It's not rocket science. There's tutorials you can look up online. I'm not a hairdresser. I'm not going to like tell you exactly how I did it because I was just following other people's tutorials, but you can like obviously like take a strand, cut off however much you want, and then measure the rest of your hair with that strand. And then you'll kind of have like an even layer, curtain bangs, everything else like that, learning process. I'm no expert on that. But the thinning shears help to blend in your layers a little bit. If it looks too choppy, you can do some vertical cuts like this as well, and that will help reduce the bluntness of your cut and make it look a little more seamless and professional. And yeah, they say like, you know, get your hair trimmed every like 6 weeks, every like 2 months maybe, because your ends, they just get dry, you know. And I'm a public facing person. I like to do my hair and to process it more than the average person would, and so I tend to get more breakage than the average person would, simply put. Another tool that I really like is a scalp massager. So one of the things that helps your hair grow is getting blood to the follicle. And this will just encourage, you know, blood flow, all that good stuff. I might even have some residual oil on it, so I'm being careful. But when my hair is, you know, dry, or I put a serum in or something, or a mask, I can just massage it like this, little circles. You don't want to like really tangle your hair, but it feels really nice and it gets your blood flowing. Not only that, I also wanted to recommend a hair mask. I really like this Amika The Cure hair mask. It's something that I've had for many years now, and it's the same pot. I'll use it maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks. What I do is I make sure I towel dry my hair so that I'm not diluting the product and wasting most of it with wet hair that, you know, the water dilutes the product and then it's no longer as efficient. So you can use less if your hair is a little bit more dry. And I just keep it in my hair for up to half an hour and then rinse it out. And it really helps with nourishing dryness. So I love it for that. And then as well, I use this Kerastase Blonde Absolute Serum. They also have an Ultime Elixir that's really good too. That's not necessarily just for blondes, but it helps with damage. I just pump it out. I really love Kerastase. I recommend their products totally. Like, I think they're really nice. They're very lightweight. I'm someone who has finer hair, and that's why, you know, prone to breakage and frizz. But this kind of hair serum, it really helps get rid of frizz. So I hadn't put any on yet, but I'm putting some on right now. It goes on even to dry hair. It doesn't have to be damp. And it just helps maintain moisture in your hair and keep your cuticles smoothed, which I love. Elio is being cuckoo back there. So this was kind of viral on TikTok, and it is rosemary oil. Now the rosemary oil is supposed to act like minoxidil, or, you know, hair loss preventative measurements that people will go to their doctor and try to get prescribed. It's not necessarily like a Rogaine or anything like that, but it has actually been proven to have similar results to stuff like minoxidil, which encourages new hair growth and maintaining hair in certain areas. I was kind of afraid of balding a little bit. I have like a little circle here, which is kind of sometimes can be a sign of alopecia. So I was kind of worried about that. So I decided to take this into my own hands and use the rosemary oil. It's so potent. This is going to last me for so long. Again, it's linked in my description box. I mix like 4 drops per tablespoon of carrier oil because you don't want to put direct rosemary oil onto your skin. Otherwise, you could suffer irritation. So I mix it with just like 100% virgin coconut oil, which is a solid at room temperature. I mix it in and, you know, 4 drops per tablespoon, or maybe a little bit more. You can see what works for you. And then I just apply it to the scalp and massage it in, and make sure you're doing the scalp, not the hair. Like, you can do the hair too, but like you want it on the scalp mostly because that's where the follicles are going to be growing. And I've noticed a strengthening in my hairline. I've only been really applying it to the front half of my face. I find I get enough oil secretion in the back half. What you may not realize about hair growth and hair patterns is that you have different types of hair on different parts of your head. And typically the thickest, strongest parts of your hair are on the back of your head, and the thinner ones are around the side and maybe like your hairline and the top of your hair. Now, I've always been kind of insecure about my hairline as a trans woman. It's not the roundest hairline ever, and it's a little bit more boxy, and I was worried especially about my widow's peak coming in. But I will say The rosemary oil has made a difference. I'll show you guys. Like, you can see these darker baby hairs coming in. Looks better in certain lighting, but it adds like this rounder shape to my hairline, which is really nice. You can still kind of see through, and it's like really thin hairs here, but they're growing longer, I've noticed. And so I've definitely noticed a bit of a difference with that. I do have a little patchy of a hairline too, but we're all, you know, no one's perfect. There's things that just aren't going to change about our genetics, and it's not necessarily anything to do with being trans either. So you just have to kind of like roll with the punches and accept what you have at a certain point. But I've noticed like just more baby hairs and more stronger baby hairs, which I think is really good. Like, I would be confident to like go out with my hair like pulled back like this, and I wouldn't be like, oh my god, you know, worried someone's gonna clock me. Like, no. Now on my hair journey, I have, you know, bleached my hair over the years, as you guys have seen. I have also dyed my hair almost black pretty much, and then tried to go a lighter brown again. And my hairstylist, she kind of, in my opinion, over processed my hair a little bit the last time I went. I just wanted like a medium brown, caramel brown, and I think she ended up bleaching it a little bit too much. So I feel like it left me with a bit of damage. Accidents happen, like whatever. We were toning it, and like the color ended up gorgeous, and I still think that this color is really pretty, so I don't mind it that much. But you can kind of see like the different sections of hair. Like, it kind of gets straighter towards the bottom, and that's where you're gonna see more damage because your natural texture isn't able to shine through as much. And as well, I've been going through like hormonal changes, going through HRT and going through, you know, surgical recovery, and going through bottom surgery removed, you know, all traces of testosterone. I've noticed a huge change in the texture of my hair since testosterone was depleted. I had actually much curlier hair prior to transitioning, and now I would say it's more wavy. Like, even my bangs are just like, they're like more wavy, and this was kind of the texture of my hair before puberty. So, you know, before my first puberty, when testosterone was like surging through my body. So it's kind of interesting to document, you know, hair transition changes as you go through different hormonal swaps. But right now I'm just kind of aiming to grow my hair out and keep it healthy. You can see my roots are growing out pretty long and pretty strong. There's not a lot of frizz, which I love. I'm trying to keep things really saturated. If you have naturally oily hair, that's only going to be a bonus for hair growth because you're not going to have as much breakage and it's not going to be as fragile. Definitely want to avoid processing your hair if you want to grow it long. That's my biggest downfall. So you really don't want to bleach. You can dye your hair like darker colors and whatever, and like it's not going to be as damaging as bleach. Bleach to me is the most damaging application you can put on your hair. However, you also want to avoid heat tools. If you can let your hair air dry, if you can do hairstyles that don't require any heat tools, that's going to make a huge difference too. Like, I have been guilty of using a lot of heat tools. Like, I like to curl my hair. I like to wave it. I like to straighten it. I've really taken a huge step in the past, I would say like 3 or 4 months, to avoid doing that so much and embrace my natural texture. It's fine. It can sometimes border on frizzy, but I know that as the healthy hair is growing in from the top, this frizz, which is the result of years of heat tools and years of bleachings, this frizz is going to slowly disappear and my healthy natural is going to move in. And I feel like 2024 for me is really the year of the natural, embracing a lot of things about myself that, you know, are at my core and at my, it's like they say, like your color palette is, you know, your natural is always going to be your most flattering. So I'm just like embracing that. And I feel like if you want long hair, you have to inevitably do that too. Once you get your hair to the length that you want, then maybe, you know, then try experimenting. But if you keep bleaching your hair when it's short, it's going to keep breaking off. If you keep putting extensions on it, your hair is going to keep breaking off. I think nothing is like more pretty and more freeing than having like natural hair. I can only imagine, like, I've worn some wigs for like Halloween and stuff, and I've had extensions throughout the years, and it's just like so high maintenance. It's so time consuming, and it's so uncomfortable at the end of the day. Obviously, like, do what you want to do and do what makes you comfortable, and we're all at different stages in our life and our transition. So you have to do, you know, what works for you first and foremost, but there's nothing that feels quite as good as just being able to like run your hands through your hair and like have it just be your permanent forever hair, you know? And you can kind of earn that through treating your hair nicely and not necessarily always processing it. Now, something that you can do to help prevent breakage and tangling is getting a satin or silk bonnet. I'm not wearing it properly. I would basically like put my hair up, put it into the bonnet, and then go to bed. And I try to wear it most nights, and it will prevent tangling. It will keep your style, like your styled hair in place. If I'm doing like heat tools and I want my hair to look good the next day, I will always be wearing this to bed. I have a pretty small bedroom. I like to keep my doors shut. I have fears of intruders, so there's no way I'm opening it because I need to hear the door open so I can like, you know, attack the person back. Neurotic thoughts. It is what it is. But my room gets kind of stuffy throughout the night when it's just me and Elio in there. It's just so small, like my own breath, I feel like fogs up the humidity in the room a little bit. And so it just feels stuffy and like the airflow isn't good. If you have really good airflow, you might find that your hair is fine when you wake up, but not me. So this will protect the humidity levels around your hair and prevent it from tangling and shit like that. So super, super helpful. Just know that like anything in life, it takes time. Hair doesn't just, you know, go down to your butt in a day. You have to really work for that, and you have to employ a lot of these tactics in order to have healthy hair too. Because if you're not eating right, you're not getting your supplements, you're not, you know, getting those nutrients you need to have healthy hair, then you're gonna end up with hair like this growing out of here. And that's not cute, you know, that's not gonna, you know, last by the time it gets longer and longer and longer. So you definitely want to make sure you're doing things on a foundational level and you're nurturing the hair that does grow out of your head. So that's the kind of two-step focus: the hair that you're growing and the hair that you're maintaining. For me, I would say that this level of length would have taken maybe 2 to 3 years to grow from my pre-transition hair. Now my pre-transition hair was probably like this length, you know, like it was kind of like chin length. I always had kind of like long hair for a man, if you will. So it wasn't a huge jump to, you can obviously use hair extensions and stuff like clip-in and stuff, but I definitely recommend just like waiting it out and working through the different styles with different lengths that you have. Overall, I think that's pretty much most of my tips and tricks. If you guys have any additional ones, you can leave them down below. I hope you found this video informative and useful. And yeah, you know, growing long hair, it can feel like it takes forever, but it will happen to you one day and you'll realize it so slowly. It's like when you're like losing weight really slow and you don't realize until you see an old picture of yourself and you're like, oh my God, my hair's so long now. Like it was so short back then. That's what you're gonna be like, you know, thinking. I mean, like I was looking at photos of myself at the beginning of the pandemic and I was like, damn, like I had gained so much weight at that point. Oh my God, Elio wants to come up. You wanna come up and say hi? Look at him. He always needs a new haircut. He gets his hair stylishly groomed too. He sees the beeping light of my mic. Anyways, you guys, if you're interested, hit the subscribe button. I'm always posting content on here and on different socials like TikTok and Instagram, and I live stream on Twitch as well. It's so much fun. We're doing Fortnite and stuff. So if you're interested, hit the follow button. We have such a cute, cozy family here. I do tips, tricks, lifestyle content, and everything in between. And I have some exciting updates to share with you guys in the future. You don't want to miss out. Hit the bell notification. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.